Secretary Blinken's visit to Iraq to warn the Iraqi state, the Iraqi government, that America is not going to tolerate attacks on its installations and its interests in Iraq, made the Iraqi government visit Iran immediately after such a visit. When it comes to Iraq, the United States of America must bear in mind that just like everywhere in the world, the youth is organizing to agitate against what they are seeing as the genocide of a people in a certain urban hub. Similarly, the Iraqi youth is also getting restive about it. So it is a really tough time because all over the Muslim world, the states are hyper-vigilant right now for any activity whose gamut may run out of their control. And the Iraqi government obviously is also hyper-vigilant and is already looking out that such things don't happen. But the little that do happen, Iraq has been fighting a war against terrorism for quite some time now. And the few events that do take place, as long as they are brought under control by the government of Iraq itself, I think there should have been no need for Secretary Blinken to fly to Iraq and to warn the Iraqi government in such a way. To unnerve the Iraqi government at a time like this, when it is trying its best to maintain law and order and to not have people's sentiments and their anger at what they are seeing happen to the Palestinians run out of control. Iraq is a country where 60% of the population is young. More than 70% of that population lives in the urban areas, and these are urban areas that were destroyed by United States wars against Iraq in 1991 and again in 2003. Its economy is bad, unemployment is high, there is lack of education. And mind you, this is a country where Saddam Hussein was able to have 99% of literacy rate, and the education was high, and human resource development had a very high index. People are now looking for jobs. Iraq also had to function as a security state when it was fighting terror, when it was fighting ISIS. So it was it had to clamp down, become a state that is strict in the measures that it enacts to maintain law and order in the country. That always rattles the nerves of the citizens who are already suffering from all kinds of other issues. Absence of food security, for instance. Hunger is high. Earnings are low. Future is not as hopeful for the Iraqis as it used to be. And then there is a generation, because the US war against Iraq only happened in 2003, there is a generation of people who are still young, who saw the good times that Iraq had and how they were turned into bad times. All of this is a tinderbox, and into it any burning matchstick that is thrown can light up a huge fire. It is quite plausible that Iraq may also experience the kind of revolution that Iran underwent in 1979. And if such a revolution happens, obviously United States of America would not be able to handle it through military force. The matter will then be completely out of its hand, because that is going to be an anti-US revolution. So the best thing the US would do well if it can just balance its support to Israel with a somewhat candid posture towards the Palestinians also. If it can just say that the Palestinians also have a right to live in peace in their own sovereign state, and design other ways of winning hearts and minds in the Middle East at a time like this, it would make it very easy for those states who are trying to maintain good relations with the United States of America to bring their own population under control when it comes to its anger at the United States because it is supporting Israel at a time like this, and vetoed the resolution at the UN for ceasefire. US should be able to support Israel in such a way that it has political clout left in the Middle East with the other states other than Israel. Because if its political clout is completely diminished or non-existent or runs up against revolutions of the kind that Iran had in 1979, in states where it went to considerable extent to institute its own presence, then the very fact that it is supporting Israel would be of no consequence whatsoever, because other states will move into that vacuum. And Israel too then will start looking to them to help it negotiate some sort of peace out of this turmoil. You're watching Zeenia Satti. I'll be back with more commentary on the evolving scenario in the Middle East.